Swear to God.
Punch this.
Let me see. What's going on? What's
happening?
What
Hey,
is
y'all.
might
What's
be
going
gone.
on?
I don't know why this is showing differently, but good morning, y'all. It is Saturday. We're running about 10 minutes behind. We were waiting on the guests, but it looks like no show. Saturday, it is August 14th. This month is flying by. Yours truly, Drake Swift, Alex Sportsmouth, Tori Savage Kitty. Word on the street.
Hey.
Episode 2900. How you guys doing this morning?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good.
You good? We all
Well,
good?
you know, I think I told you last night, and I didn't get to talk to Alex or whatever, but I ended up, you know, I think I told you or whatever. I ended up taking Nati back to her mother's. So Alex, she stayed home yesterday. My 11-year-old stayed home. She wasn't feeling well, so we got nervous or whatever. So we
From
got
school or just
from school.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back at school. She's been back at school a couple weeks now.
Right.
So I went to go get her a COVID test. And then, you know, when we got there, I was a little irritated because they said, well, your insurance doesn't cover the rapid. So I'm like, okay, I'll just pay for it. No, you got insurance. You can't do that now. So I said, whatever.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so we ended up getting her a COVID test and a strap.
Did you tear the insurance card up in front of her? Like, I don't have insurance
So
anymore.
that's what that bill was for the other day that I just got.
Yeah. So I got her the
yeah.
strep test.
For real.
But she still wasn't feeling good. And then when I took her throughout the day, she was feeling okay, but she was like at night, you know, I told you she started getting really nervous because she wasn't feeling good and her nose was running. And then I just ended up taking her home because she was, you know, overworking herself. So we're waiting for her to find out whether she got COVID or not. But she said a little girl was next to her that was sick and, you know,
kept coughing and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I hope she doesn't have this variant because it's attacking these kids. And she was just like really nervous because she was like, I'm scared. Like, she was like, I'm scared. I hope I don't have it. I'm like, it's okay. Wow. It's okay. So,
and how old is she again?
She's 11. If we could get her.
Okay, I was going to say 10, but okay. And see, that's the things. 11. Those are the things that.
Because she's really cautious. She's always wearing her mask, washing her hands.
That scare me.
But if a booger kid's next to her, you know what I mean? She really.
Man, the boogery.
But that's the thing that scares me. Like Arizona, and you know how Texas, a lot of states that didn't like close down that long or just didn't take it that serious. This is just my opinion. I'm thinking so deep that I'm laying there and thinking like, you know, is my daughter going back to school? And I haven't. That's why I was trying to reach out to her, and I don't think she is. She'd go to Riverview and.
Well, I don't know if they are offering distant learning anymore, but
they are because I got email.
I don't know about here. I don't know if they are here.
They are here. They are here. Yeah, a friend of mine just enrolled her two daughters, high school daughters, in the district.
So giving you options.
I have to move her because until she's vaccinated, I don't know. We just moved her to a new school because, you know, her mother didn't want to bring her all the way this way, which is not 20 minutes, but it's a pain when you got to take two kids in the morning to school. But the biggest thing is they should have never dropped the mask mandate. That's, I guess, my issue. She said
kids aren't
it's optional.
That's what I'm saying.
And then on top of that,
that's what I'm saying.
On top of that, the teachers, they're not wearing them either. Optional. Some are, some aren't. So I think, you know, and I know we're going to talk about the story. Arnold said, you piece of monkey trash, wear your fucking mask, you douchebag. So even
you know what? That was cool and all. That was cool. But you know what? It doesn't matter if he says it or a guy down the street.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean?
But and we'll talk about it. But And then they saw him out the next day with no mask, with smoking a cigar. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you're
you can't smoke a cigar with wearing a mask.
No, I get it, but he was walking around like the all day.
I know. Yeah, it looked like he was filming a Terminator shot. I know. I seen it. Yeah. And you know what's funny? I actually watched Terminator 2 the other day, and I was like, man, so many things you catch, watching the movie. And I was like, I thought I was like 12 for some reason, and I was like, wow, I was only 11 years old when that movie came out. So long ago. And that was like one of the coolest movies I've ever seen, but that was crazy though, watching that. So when I seen the story, seen him smoking a cigar, I was like, damn, he looks almost damn near the same that he did, 30 years ago.
Just a lot smaller. He shrunk and, muscle mass and all that. So, and then talking about Arnold, we'll get into it. Jackie was on the show not too long ago. I think she won second place. Man, she is a beat. You see those arms? I'm like, that girl, I'd be scared she would throw me against the wall. Bitch, you ain't listening to me. You better go throw that guard.
That's why snatch your ass right the fuck up.
I had to ask her about China, man. And that's why China back in the day was
you see her arm?
Phenomenal, bro. So that like I'm saying, when you first seen right, but like when you first, that's why I asked her a couple questions about her, because I was like, when I first seen her back in the day, you were blown away. You were like, what is this? Like, nobody never seen nothing like that in professional wrestling. So that was just crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
like I said, Jackie, if you've seen her, she looks like she was like a statue. Like,
yeah, I follow her.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. So with this mask mandate, I think someone says it's coming back or whatever. It just needs this. They should have never dropped it. And I know there's some things that we were going to talk about. So they're saying now that the Pentagon and some of the they're saying it's going to be against national security if you don't have your vaccine. So kind of like, hey, is it a law? Now will they force people to get it? That's what the Pentagon is saying, that it's against national security if you don't have it. I mean, you are spreading a disease. You know what I mean? So, I hate to say that, fuck your rights, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't
want your feelings, but fuck your feelings.
I don't want my kids sick. You know what I mean? Like, I know we got it as adults, and we're able to fight it off, but we're not going to get as sick. You know what I mean? And I think everyone said it, from Jennifer Aniston to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's about your other human being. It's about the other person. You know what I mean? Like, it's the biggest thing. You're being selfish and inconsiderate of other people's, you know what I mean, surroundings, especially.
Yeah, it's not an individual thing. It's a community. It's a community health thing. So, absolutely, they need to. Until this is over, until my friends stop dying, until my friends and family members stop being intubated, until all of these things subside drastically, what's a piece of cloth over your face? I know it doesn't protect you 100%, but again, I'll say it again, like I have many times before, even if it's 50%, don't you want all 50% of that?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Should be like just waking up, putting a pair of socks on,
Hey, women got to wake up and put it. Well, we don't have to, but we put a fucking bra on every day. You think we like to wear bras? No, we do it so that half these people out here's feelings ain't hurt. Nipples.
I like titties.
Women with I like titties hanging too, especially if they're a nice pair. But not everybody can handle it. So again, put a fucking bra on. We have to put a bra on. We've been doing it for years, ages. Put a fucking mask on. It's like a bra for your face.
I like to imagine what those nipples look like. So don't worry.
Yeah, I just pretend it's a pair of like Halle Berry's panties over my face. That's all. It makes it so much easier to wear.
Yeah. There you go. If everybody could just pretend it's a pair of Halle Berry's
be creative
panties on their face.
Maybe that's where I get. Maybe that's because I still watch wrestling. So
who doesn't want her panties on their face? Sounds like a good time to me.
And I got to be honest with you. As long as you're wearing a mask, I mean, Dawn says she don't want the shot. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, people are fear of the shot. I got it. I got both doses. Give me the fucking booster. Give me all Give me all the vaccinations. I want to be protected 300% if I can. There's a lot of nasty people that don't wash their hands even before that, and we've had good discussions. There's a lot of people that don't, they go into the bathrooms.
Right.
Guy, I look at a guy when he's fucking holding his junk and he just walks out of the bathroom like this motherfucking dirty motherfucker. Like I wash my hands and I grab a paper towel. I hold on to the paper towel and I grab the door with the paper towel because I just don't like it. You know what I mean? And I know some of the bathrooms are putting like a handle, but where your foot is now and I like that. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's pure laziness, but yeah, I guess it works.
Well, but I mean,
no.
For some people,
I love that because if it's a pull door and not a push, what do I do? I can't use my elbow. I can't, kick it with my foot. I don't use my hand.
It should be on every door.
Right.
It should be on every door where you're using a restroom, etc.
No, I think
absolutely.
I know push and pull, but I think both doors should swing both ways, especially with these crazy diseases. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, for me, I don't know about for you, but when I open the door, I'm fucking opening it with my elbow. I don't even want to touch the shit. I go in QT. I'm always doing the door. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing my foot. I'm using all limbs. I just don't want to touch
all limbs,
motherfucker. Because I don't know, Alex or whatever. So. In Detroit, in the city of Detroit, there's hardly ever any bathrooms, right? You can't go to the gas station and use the bathroom. They look at you like you're crazy. But here, there's so many places.
You gotta know where you can stop. And back in the day, we knew where we could stop and use a bathroom, whether it was at a gas station or we knew where to stop for that type of shit. Other than running into McDonald's or something, but you know what I mean? So I think that's pretty funny. Like you be like, no, I ain't go. They don't have a bathroom in there. They
don't even urinate. They don't piss. They don't do none of that there.
You're in the city of Detroit and you got to go to the bathroom.
Right, give you a big ass.
You better get home.
Hubcap on a keychain.
Yeah, you better just pull over and use the field.
Right. Yeah, you better get
home. Just find an abandoned lot.
Hope you don't get that $500 ticket, right?
But every gas station has a bathroom.
Been there, done that.
I go to QT, which is it's called Quick Trip here. I think there's some in like the southeast.
What a name,
Quick Trip. But I gotta be
funny as hell.
They're clean, dude. They're constantly
so clean.
Constantly fucking cleaning the bathrooms. Cleaning.
What do you know? They're doing something they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and you don't. And the big thing is you don't wait in line, right? So if you got something, they got fucking mad people. They're taking people on both sides, and
they're wild.
So they actually pay their workers.
The cashier literally has 2 registers, and he's like, "How can I do you? You next? How can I do? What can I do? Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Is he talking to me? Fuck, I'm up already." Oh, hey, it's kind of like my anxiety.
How long has that business been open?
It's quick.
It's been since I've been here, so a good 20 years. But they are
good with it.
When you go in there, the bathrooms are usually clean unless
like car wash and shit.
Unless there's a big like bum, hangout or whatever. Like in the hood, there's a lot of bums in there, and they take baths in there because they know they clean. I swear to God, I've been into a Quick Trip where I walk in at like 27th Avenue and Camelback, and there's a bum and taking a bird bath in there, and the guy, as soon as he's done,
man.
Yeah, as soon as he's done,
that ain't
they
no
come in there and they clean it because they're constantly. But like I said, if you have to take a shit, I go to Quick Trip. I gotta be honest. I gotta go to Quick Trip. I gotta go to Quick. There's a Quick Trip everywhere. So shout out to Quick Trip. Maybe a sponsor the show. But if you have to go to bathroom number 1, number 2, what you gotta do?
So
number
fitting.
1, number 2.
You gotta go to QT for the number 2.
Quality time.
I don't number 2 at no gas stations. My stomach literally has to be falling out the bottom for me to stop anywhere like that.
Spend some QT with the
my
TP.
shit, yeah, exactly. My shit's got to be falling out the bottom. Like you can't make it. You can't talk. It's falling out type shit. Because other than that, I have a rule: thou shalt not shit on foreign toilets.
Yeah,
so,
You know, it's.
But I'll pee there.
I don't
I'll
know what
pee.
movie that was. It was the next movie with Cheech and Chong, and he has to take a shit and he's holding his ass. And then they're in Vegas back in the 80s. I don't know if they still have them, but they used to have a lot of bums that would just go into the casino to go to the bathroom. So you used to have to put quarters into the restroom to go to the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. Yeah, because I remember going into Circus. We were at Circus as a kid, and I remember, and I'm like, Mom, that you have to have quarters to go to the bathroom. So she's giving me pain to go to the bathroom because
my God.
And that's the craziest shit that I ever seen.
Circus, that's funny.
But they had a problem with people just from the strip, just
going, loitering, strip loitering.
Yeah, and just shitting everywhere.
Hey man, you got a quarter.
Well, that's kind of like, but not really. That gas station I was telling y'all about in Detroit that I went to use the restroom, and he had the Glade plug-in padlock to the wall. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I know you're on 8 Mile, and Glade plug-ins, they're a little expensive, a couple bucks, but he had a whole ass he had like a bracket around it with a padlock and had that bitch locked with the locker lock. Like, ain't nobody stealing this fucking air freshener. Not a damn soul.
It was his lucky Glade freshener.
He did. He was not playing about that. He was not playing about that Glade.
You go to the bathroom, like I said, QT always has the paper towels. They don't have the blow dryers. And they say they're...
the blow dryers are so gross. Let me just say that. It just spreads shit particles on you.
I know they're supposed to be more sanitary, but you
think so?
No, because that's what they say when it's...
I stopped using those like 8 years ago.
Every time I see one, I cringe. I will not use it. I go back into the stall and I get extra toilet paper, and I will dry my hands with toilet paper.
Sometimes I'll just wash my hands and use my damn shirt.
That says that it sucks particles up. So if it's sucking particles up,
I've seen that too.
Shit particles.
Imagine when it's blowing at you, right? When the COVID first happened, I read about all of that shit.
I can't.
I read about all of that shit. I was like, thank God I stopped.
It's a shit blower. It's the whole ass dookie blower. It's
blowing all everything in that bathroom around. It's spinning it around.
Yes, it's a dookie blower.
It's common sense. So you don't
use the dookie blower. Don't use the dookie blower, folks.
The movies, Harkins, they have the ones that you.
I can't even fuck with none of it.
Blower.
I know, and it looks so, especially the ones that you stick your hand in. It's all like high tech, and you're like, ooh. I'll admit, I used them before I saw this thing about shit particle blowing, but not even just shit, urine, like everything has. Yeah, yes, it's a feces blower. I just don't trust it. What if there's, hypothetically, let's just, this scenario, there's a guy that he's urinating, right? There's a couple guys, they're urinating. If you can smell it, that means that there's particles around, right? And there's somebody else who's using the shit blower, right? So he's got his hands in the pooper blower, and it sucks up the particles from the urine and the shit. It's just too much. It's too, don't stick your hands under the shit blower. Go back in the stall. Use extra toilet paper because they got that cheap shit in there, so it's real thin. Just get a bunch of it and just blot your hands, and then use it to open the door. The rest of that, what? Fuck it. Wipe it on your pants after you get the majority of the wetness off. You'll be fine. Don't use
think about that
blower.
Oh, look at that. Well, then they have the ones that you stick down, right, and then they have the ones that are underneath. So that one.
Listen, I was at Texas Roadhouse last time, and this lady had her son put his head under in it, and I almost passed the fuck out when I saw the little kid under the dookie blower, because that's all I kept thinking is this lady just fucking put shit particles on her kid. I don't know if he had it in his hair or what. When you're a little boy, you get to go in the bathroom with your mama, right? So you go in the bathroom with your mom, and she's like, no, step under here. And the whole time I'm like, oh my God, this lady just fucking blew dookie all over her kid. Like, there's just poop on the kid now.
What did I miss?
I couldn't even. I'm like, he's like a walking fucking turd right now. And then there they go, off through the fucking Texas Roadhouse. I'm like, oh Jesus, where am I at? Fucking heathen. I couldn't. You're dookie blowing your kids, your dookie ass kid, you, the whole dookie family now. His mom's fixing his hair. Like, oh, let me fix it for you. Now she got fucking Karen Dookie in her hands. Too much. I can't fuck with it. No, sorry, fuck them blowers, and fuck them kids, the dookie ass kids.
We get a sticker, and anytime we see one, we should just put on a dookie blower.
I'm telling you, it's instantly. I cringe. I'm like, ooh. And then I told you that I be holding my breath when I walk past people, right? If somebody has that motherfucker on and I gotta walk past it, I literally like Matrix, like, and hold my breath, or I will wait. I will wait like I'm standing in line. Like, no, go ahead. Let them dookie particles settle.
Neo.
You ain't hit me yet. You ain't hit me with that shit. Nah, hold my whole ass breath standing in the fucking bathroom. Like, okay, I'll even wipe my hands on my pants. Like, all right, I washed. I'm good. We're done. Gotta go.
Nowhere.
You and the whole dookie, little dookie kids. The dookie pack. You got a dookie gang.
I know you were just talking about that, mom. You know, you take your kid in there, a boy or whatever, to the girl, to the women's bathroom. How old were the boys? Well, how old was Dominic before you stopped taking in there? And before you answer that question, so I was very curious as a child. I guess maybe that's why I like titties and ass so much right now. But at a young age, I was exploring and doing things, right. And I'll tell you a story. I don't know if I was at JCPenney's or Hudson's. Maybe I was about 4 or 5. But my mom was in the dressing room. And I was like, hey, Mom, I'm out here or whatever. And I ended up going to another dressing room. And I was like, I put my head, we were talking about, in that sequence that I was talking about where Cheech had to put a quarter in the slot. He didn't have any change. So he went underneath the stall because he had to take a shit so bad. And I was, when I was telling you, my mom was in the dressing room and I was like, Mom, I couldn't find her. So I went in another dressing room. I didn't know who it was. And I must have been 5 or whatever. But I remember this lady was fucking butt naked. And I'm going into the stall. And she was like, ah! And I was like, oh, shit. I'm sorry. I was like 5 or 6. No, I guess I was just exploring the women's dressing room. So I was bad.
You were a dressing room peeper. I had a little kid climb under I had a little kid do that to me.
That's funny.
He put his head. He climbed up underneath the stall. I said, "Hey, what?" I kind of put my foot and kicked him back under.
I can see you.
Whoa! What are you doing there, kiddo?
Little ass heel.
Standing there. No. Well, yeah. Well, when you're in a dressing room, I don't take my shoes off, right? And if I do, I stand on top of them. So, or I will lay down one of the articles I tried on already and stand on that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
My shoes off.
I've done that.
Dressing rooms are a lot of dressing rooms are very dirty. That's the first thing I notice if I go in the dressing room. I'm looking around, is this dirty? But anyways, back to the little peeper. So I'm standing there literally like butt naked in a thong and tennis shoes. And I just kicked his ass back under like, no, my little motherfucker, what are you doing? But he looked up, he got a glimpse. He saw all under the titties and everything. Probably he was like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
So, but I never, I brought Dom and Zach both in the bathroom with me until I felt they were, old enough to go alone in the other bathroom. And it was, kind of probably like, I'd say probably about 6, 7. I don't know. After that, I'm like hawking outside the bathroom, right? Like, are they okay? Zach never went in by himself, but Dom, did. Zach, though, even if Zach was able-bodied to go by himself, I don't know if I would trust him after a certain age in the women's bathroom. He was crazy. Like, he was the one who, I told you, he was a klepto, right? So he'd steal shit all the time. He'd have random shit in his pocket from the restaurant. He'd be in there,
in his pocket.
Oh yeah. He would have took something. Even in the department stores, he was a little pervert when it came to like the mannequins, right? He's like, "Oh, look at her boobs!" Like,
you know what's crazy?
She has a shirt on. We could not go into the lingerie section, like the bra section. If I had to get a bra, I'm literally like the entire time staring at him, like, knock it off. Stop fucking staring at that thing, right? Yeah, he was a little perv.
I would have been the kid at 12. Mom, can I go in the bathroom with you?
Oh, jeez. I couldn't shower with them after a certain, you don't do that after a certain age either. Once they start, they're like, "Oh, what's that?" You're like, "Okay, that's the last shower for us together." I would though put on, if I had to shower them up, I'd put on a bathing suit and go in there because that's, that's normal. But
I think Alex has daughters. I have daughters. Like as soon as they were able to. Yeah, I wouldn't go. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want them to ask questions.
Your dick all by their face and stuff. Your privates, your vagina all by their face. No.
Yeah. I remember.
I know a guy. I'm sorry to cut you off. There was a guy that him and his wife. They just thought it was no. And I know that there was nothing funny going on with them, right? There was no abuse or anything like that. So let's just put that disclaimer out there. But they were very open in their sexuality, which is fine because a lot of us are,
right.
But they thought it was okay that their kids, if their kids had to take a shower, she'd be like, "Oh, your dad's in the shower, just hop in there with him real quick. Quick, kid, go in there real quick, fucking lather up." I'm like, what, huh? What? He's like 11. What? Yeah. Right. Strange. This is just weird to me. Or, this is off topic, the people who breastfeed their kid and they're like 6. Like, why is your baby being breastfed at 6? It's the same kind of thing to me. That just right over my head with that one. So I don't know. But
no,
were you the perv in the lingerie department? You and Alex?
I wasn't a perv, but I love titties and ass. But
they're nice. They're great.
But you know how they have like sometimes they have a child seat in like the larger bathrooms. I used to take my daughter, say, sit here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bathroom. I just didn't want them out there. You know what I mean?
I remember as they got older, I would tell them, turn around.
Yeah.
So, they would come in with me. We would go in the stall, turn around. You don't need to watch me. I just need to watch you.
You're right.
So, and they'd have no problem. "Okay, Mom, turn right around. Are you done yet? Do I sound like I'm done? Let me finish what I'm doing."
Hold up. I'm done.
Exactly. Turn around.
Yeah, that's like
so
my
I had to do a lot of that.
One of my nephew, one of my youngest nephews, he used to, and a lot of kids did this, but when you're a boy, it stops being cute after a certain age. He used to run around slapping people in their ass.
Oh,
family and shit.
And
she was
at
like,
a certain age that becomes not cute anymore.
Or he would slap his mother, my sister, in the ass.
Let a 7-year-old slap me in the ass.
That stopped
get a whole
instantly.
ass spanking.
When you slap your mother in the ass, that instantly stops. Or it should. Not every mother, but yeah. So I was thinking about that, like little things like that. Just.
Yeah, I knew this couple where the boyfriend would always be like, when he was younger, they thought it was funny. The boy breastfed, right? So when he got a little bit older, they thought it was fun. The dad thought it was funny for the boy to just be walking around, literally slap his mom in the boob. TT.
That's crazy.
TT.
Yeah. See, yep. That's what I'm saying.
You're in first grade.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
yeah, when you go to school, you're gonna be getting calls from school 3 times a week, if not more.
Yeah. So when you're a father and you have a girl, like the single dads or the dads that have their daughters, do you do the turnaround thing with them, or how long do you allow them to come in the bathroom with you? Or is it awkward because there's other men in there, right?
Well, that's why I said I used to bring them into the stall, even though I don't have to take a shit. I would bring them into the stall.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just tell them down, or sometimes they have the seat or whatever. They sit there.
Yeah.
Or just sit. You know what I mean? So,
Yep. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. But you're talking about, you said the stall, Tori, or the shower?
No, I said the stall, but I mean shower too. You don't. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean,
that's cringy as fuck.
Well,
my daughter bass, but yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
My older one
baby.
was, you know, we sheltered her. You know, we just didn't let her do things. You know, your first kid, you're overprotective, right?
I'm a helicopter mom.
Yeah, my daughter's gonna be 17 years old. She's still she barely goes over a friend's house, maybe like a couple times a year, you know, and spends the night like 3 times. Like, yeah, we don't. I made sure I stopped that real early. I didn't like that because of the way I am. I can't. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Daughter,
That's just how I am.
I used to take her a bath and shower. As soon as she got a certain age, you know, I was like, I told my, at the time I was married, I said, I don't feel comfortable taking her a shower anymore. Nothing. I just don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. After a while,
but my little one, she was so independent. When she was about 3 years old, she'd start taking her own shower.
And that's how my daughter was too. Same.
But my older one was, you know, she was very timid, and you know, she would just sit there and play in the water. I'm like, no, come on.
Right. Never wanted to get out.
Yeah,
never wanted to get out. That's
little one.
Yeah.
Knock it out, and she'd like, no, I don't. I'm
not wrinkled yet.
I don't want help. So,
right, I don't want help. I'm done.
I'm done.
I get this done myself.
Yeah.
Y'all taking too long. Water's about to be cold.
Yeah.
I just like spending that quality time with my daughter, you know, and stuff like that. And you know, I would read to her. We would listen to music, like stuff like that. So once that ended, I was like, okay, hey, one less job for me to do. Let me turn on the sports game and shit. So I was like, it's cool, but you know, yeah, after a while, it's like, okay, you know.
So, Tori, you know, you have boys and we had girls. And I've read stories in the past while we're talking that I know some families still, like, I don't know what's the age, but some families still sleep together and all that good stuff. And I don't know what the certain age is, but I remember reading a story like this couple, and they had kids that were like 8 or 9, and they all slept together in the same bed. Did you ever hear about that, like families sleeping together?
Well, me and my sister shared a bed for many years.
No, with mom and dad. Do you know what I mean?
So I actually,
I heard like that, like when the girls were little.
So I don't know. I think it just depends, you know, on who you are. Me personally, my kids, I broke them from that very young because I wanted them to sleep in their own bed, even if they shared a room together, right? I wanted them to sleep not in my bed. Yeah, if you're not feeling well, you're sick, you're scared, those things, but it never became a ongoing thing where it's like, okay, bedtime, everybody crawl in the bed and they go to mom and dad's bed. No. You have your own bed. This is my adult time. I sleep by myself. But yeah, I've heard of many families where they just allow the kids to sleep in the bed with them, even so much as, you know, sometimes it becomes a problem for the parents because at first it's cool, the kids are young and whatever, right. And maybe they have several that are staggered ages. So they don't really wean the one off before the next one comes in. And I've heard of, you know, husband and wives, even wives being upset that the husband is allowing the kids to sleep in the bed with them and vice versa. I think that kids should be put in their own bed, especially after a certain age. I don't think that your 4 and 5-year-old should be sleeping in the bed with you every single night. That's just my opinion. That's my choice of parenting. I just feel that not only is it about, you know, me and wanting my adult time and this is that time, but your child needs to learn to be independent in that sense. When they don't sleep in their own bed and they're in the bed with you, then all these other issues I feel like come about. You know, they're scared of the dark and they're I don't know, just too much. It's too much. You need to go to your own bed. Now, I know one that she said that the child, every time that they would put the child in their own bed, the child would urinate the bed, like they'd piss the bed. I think the kid was doing it on purpose because the kid never pissed the bed when he laid in bed with his mom and dad. So the kid had them wrapped. You know, 6 years old, sleeping in the bed with them still. Kind of sketchy. Go to your bed. Fuck out of my room. I get go to bed.
As a kid, I had nightmares. I had really bad nightmares. So my parents, when I got too big, I would just sleep on the floor. I wanted someone close. Like I would have fucking awful nightmares.
Well, and if my kids hit, I sound mean as fuck. I'm like, you're not allowed in my room. No, that's not the case. If you're scared, if there's something going on with you that we need to address, sure, by all means, go ahead, lay down on my bed. I've had my children lay on the floor next to my bed because I told them to go to their room, and they're like, they want to stay up. They want to see me. They don't want to be in their room. Oh, it's dark in there. It says, well, it's dark when you close your eyes. Close your eyes, buddy. That's what you have eyelids for. It's dark under there. So if they had nightmares or anything like that, I would just give them melatonin or lavender on their bed, and we're going to work through this. But this isn't going to be a regular thing that you sleep in my room.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You're like, I need to have some lovey time. You got to go to your room.
Shit, lovey time. I need some quiet time.
Right.
Lovey time already happened probably in the laundry room or when y'all were watching some damn cartoon, right? We got that shit in real quick while the chicken nuggets were in the oven, something. But I need some damn quiet time. I don't know, your foot all in my rib cage while I'm trying to
I know you only had 2 kids. Alex had only 2 kids. You know, when these people have like 9 or 10 kids, I want to know how, first of all, how they get it in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she just told you.
I know.
Yeah.
She just told you.
That's
exactly how it happened. In the bathroom. When the chicken nuggets are cooking, a laundry room. Garage. Hurry up. They can hear us. Shh.
But what you're talking about, I hate rush sex. I really do. Like,
but sometimes that's your only option.
I feel like the flashlight is on you. You have 2 minutes to perform.
You don't like a quickie?
No, I get the quickie, but
that's a quickie. Rush sex. It's a quickie. Make it quick.
The quickie is. I'm thinking, hey, I'm home for lunch. 2
humps and a pump. Get it done.
That type of quickie. But when you have children outside the door, like I feel like you're.
That's the worst. You got little fingers under the door. They're trying to talk to you.
No difference from what you just said. I'm on my lunch period. Your lunch period's even longer.
Yeah, but
what are you talking about? It's a lunch period at minimum is a half hour. What are you talking about? A quickie is what she said. Like, hey, you guys want a snack now? Okay, make you a sandwich and give you a fucking juice box. When they go to the room, you go to the laundry room.
No. Okay, but I get
exactly.
Am I right or wrong?
Take the fucking snack.
Take your juice box and beat it.
But if you're
lunchable, no.
If you're having sex, hey, you know what? If you don't come, you don't come. But when you got somebody like, Mom, why is the door locked? Hello.
That's why you give them a snack. You occupy them. You put the TV on.
Create a diversion. Come on, man. We thought you knew this stuff already.
Hurry up. Hang on, babe. Let me go set the kids up real quick. I'll be right back.
Right.
Maybe that's why
and if you're lucky enough to have a neighbor that is like, they play with their kids, oh my God. That's
he said, oh my God.
That's a few hours.
I'm gonna give you a funny story. So
you go crying over here.
Geez, I'm just telling.
Story.
Get your sandwich.
I was fortunate enough to have a good amount of babysitters.
We had work at Subway. Your kids started working at Subway, right? So they were very vocal of what was going on at home, and I don't know, whatever the case was. I heard them talking, and they're like, his mom and her were working together. Mom used to throw us out when we would have sex, and when you guys had sex, and I was like, and he started telling the story. Basically, she would tell the kids, little ones, hey, me and your dad are gonna fuck. You got to go outside.
Pretty sure she didn't use that word, but
no, she did. We're gonna fuck right now. You got to go outside.
Oh, you were telling me about this. I think you were telling me about this.
I was like, what?
Horrible. That's horrible.
And the kids would go outside to play. They were straight hillbillies, but I get it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It was carrot. They were the double. That's still horrible.
Yeah, that is terrible.
What can you do?
Fuck.
What can you do?
Go outside. That was.
No kid needs that visual. I couldn't even. And I'm sure my parents are probably listening. I couldn't even stomach the thought of thinking about my parents doing it, let alone. But here, go outside now. You're supposed to go outside and ride your bike and play, thinking about your mom and dad humping. Like, oh man, that's traumatic as fuck.
That is traumatic. Right?
So these kids that worked for you, how were they fucked up people?
He was like 60. The kid seemed all right, but he put his mom right under the bus. Mom used to fucking. She used to tell me go outside. I was like, the fuck is going on at your house? So,
a whole lot of dysfunction.
A whole lot of dysfunction. Yeah.
They didn't have no snacks. Like they didn't just give them a snack, huh? They sent them out.
No, they threw the ball like a dog. Here you go, fetch. We'll be back.
Fucked up. That's some South Warren ass shit right there.
Yeah, that's like some shit right there. Hey, we gotta go outside.
You gotta go.
Me and Mom are about to get busy.
Me and Mom about to jump each other's bones.
Yeah. That's some shit.
We gotta get our hump on.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
I gotta get back on the roof in 24 minutes. Get your ass outside.
And Alex says, I was married. I guess maybe my wife wasn't creative. I always wanted to, give her a snack or whatever. And she's like, no, hurry. I just didn't like that pressure. Like, I'm like, nah, you know what? I want to lay there with my balls out for a while. I don't want to do none of that shit. I don't.
You extra.
Huh?
Right, that's your problem. What the fuck?
Right? No quickie, man.
Quickie. I think quickie was cool when you were in your 20s.
What's they got to do with the woman? He's talking about later with my balls out. What's they got to do with the woman?
A quickie is cool at any age.
You can go take a bath, go soak in the bathtub.
Quickie is cool at any age.
Yeah, 40. I'm
trying to please my woman with that time that I had, my wife at the time. Shit.
Yeah, he said,
gotta take advantage of that shit.
Right.
You're so selfish.
Sometimes we got busy schedules.
So
I don't listen. I don't want to lay down every time like that.
When you take a shower.
Fucking up my hair, getting all undressed. No, let's just pull this up, pull this down, get this done. Got shit to do. I'm late for a meeting. I got to be there in 14 minutes.
I don't know what you're on. I don't know what this guy's on, but
I don't like that excitement.
You gotta take advantage of that time. Yeah, you gotta take advantage.
Oh yeah, I said when you're in your 20s, but when I'm in my 40s, I just want to chill. I don't want none of that.
You can't always get what you want, bro.
And I think when I was we were talking about kids, I think when I was in my 20s, I would never date anybody that had children. I didn't have children in my 20s. But now it's a fact. Hey, you're gonna date somebody that has children.
But see, I think you're associating the quickie. I still can't get over the fact that you don't like a quickie. Like if you associate the quickie with you're hiding from the kids, no, because sometimes these people that you're in your 40s, your kids are long gone, right? Maybe it's just a quick let's get this shit done. Like this, like I said, this is the sporadic fuck like jackrabbits real quick.
Yeah,
let's go.
I just never got it with the
ex-wife. You want to get all undressed and all that? You light a candle too? What the fuck?
I think I never got it with the ex-wife, so maybe I just didn't. There was no excitement there, but you know what I mean, like the quickie thing. So maybe that's why. Yeah. Like maybe I'm just like, I'm over it. But
you had a full ass undress. Get you said I'm over it.
Socks off.
You light a candle.
Yeah, socks
off.
Music,
socks. Oh, socks off. Socks off.
Socks off. Yeah.
Shit.
Somebody told me I need those hospital socks, the ones that got the grips on it.
The ugly yellow ones.
Yeah.
We got plenty of those over here. The Dom would take them every time Zach was in the hospital. Dominic would be like, I got a whole bunch of fucking hospital socks. I'm like, where the fuck do you got them ugly ass fucking socks? Like, they're comfortable. I wear them around the house on the hard floor. They're comfortable as shit. I'm like,
slip and slide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
I guess you're not falling.
let's get into the show. I don't know where Alex went. He must have had a phone call. So Biden vacates D.C. as Afghanistan immigration crisis accelerates. So President Biden is heading to Camp David Friday afternoon from his residence in Wilmington, Delaware, commuting to a trip to the nation's capital amidst spiral crisis, including situation in Afghanistan has been compared to the fallout of Saigon. You know, I don't think we've talked about this, but I know that the president has been, the last couple presidents wanted to pull out of some of these countries, but I know Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. Sometimes I think it's a mistake to pull out some of these communist countries, some of these terrorist countries, because what happens is when we pull our troops out, guess what? The fucking devil comes back, and then we got to go back and whip these fucking guys' asses. So I think it was a mistake for the government to pull out of Afghanistan. And I know that they don't want to have troops there forever, but I mean, we still got troops in Korea. So,
yeah,
like I said, sometimes I think it's a mistake pulling out of these countries, because what happens is there's, another terrorist group pops up or another communist group pops up. So I don't know. I think we should always keep troops in some of these places. But, I get that it's costing money to keep troops there. And I know these people don't want to be there. But that's my thoughts.
yeah, I agree. I think it's a good perspective to look at because, and it's true. As soon as we remove them, look what happens.
Right.
It snowballs, and there's, it multiplies by how much that we have to go back and clean up again. So,
right.
Yeah, prevent it before it starts.
Right.
And, it sucks because, like you said, there's no, it's costing us money, and, these people who are family members, they missed our loved ones. They're overseas. They're gone. They risk their lives for us, which is amazing. So thank you to all the men and women who are going overseas and for all their service, and everybody who is servicing for our freedom. But in our protection, it's necessary. It is what it is. So they know that when they go into the military, though.
Right. So the majority of Democrat voters now prefer socialism to capitalism. They recently did a poll, and the Americans that are Democrats prefer a socialist country. I do definitely like the idea, but who pays for it is the tax dollar. I definitely like to be in a country that provides free healthcare, free college. I would love that to happen, but who's going to pay for it? I know at the end of the day, that's the big question. But those are some of the things that I like from a socialism standpoint. But I don't think my daughter should have to. When she wants to go to UCLA,
Right.
out of state,
Right.
Out of university, I'm going to pay $100,000 probably plus for her to go there. Should I pay that? I mean, she wants an education. She's going to be able to contribute to being a citizen. Personally, I don't think I should have to pay for it. But, that's the way things go. Should the government pay for, I think, basic necessities of a university? Sure. Okay, I'll pay for her books. But I would love for the U.S. government to pay for her to go to UCLA or U of M or any university. But those are my thoughts. I definitely don't.
And you know what? Hey, to touch on that, that's why it's such a great thing now that, I mean, like, I'm surprised you didn't find this, pull up this story or post it about the college students, back in the day when, like, Michigan Fab Five was making a lot of money and college students were getting in trouble for selling merchandise like that. Now, guess what? Well, now I don't know if you know that, but now they can make their own profit off of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that just got passed like last year, I believe. I think it was last year or beginning of this year. So it's just same thing. Like, I mean, No, and you're right. And I was smiling when you were saying that because, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "Oh, our freedom, love our country, blah blah blah." But damn, man, why you got to pay $100,000 for your kid? You know what I mean? Like, at the same time, like you said, it's nothing. It's we're free, but are we? like no, not really. Like,
kids shouldn't have to go to college and come out. Kids shouldn't come out of college after busting their ass and their parents busting their ass, put them in that college, and everybody's in debt. So many kids that come that go to college that because when you're over 18, they put that financial liability on them. They make them sign all of that, right? And unless they have a parent who's stepping up and paying those bills, then it's on them. So they go to college and they come out in debt, $40, $50, $60, $70, $90,000.
Right.
So then the profession that they hope they can still get a job in, because they hope the times haven't changed so drastically with everything happening in the world, they come out and half of them can't get a job. Or if they do, they're working their asses off to pay off this student loan for the next 10 years.
Right.
I have adult friends who have student loans that they've been riding out since I've fucking known them. I'm like, damn, bitch, you still have student loans?
In this business, you have to check out.
Sorry.
It's not right. It's not right, and it's not fair. And like you said, they're going to be, productive members of society. They're learning a skill that's going to benefit others, in the community and in the world, in all types of fields, whether it's business or medical, the sports, all of it. They shouldn't have to worry about that. And then you have the people who say, well, I had to pay mine, blah, blah, blah. Times are changing. That's great. You had to pay yours. I'm sorry that you got the raw end of the deal. That we've all gotten the shitty end of the stick somewhere in our lives. Like, stop holding that as your crutch to say that people in the near future or, ahead of you or children's don't deserve that. Like, times have changed.
Right.
Exactly.
So this
Stop being so fucking salty about it.
George Carlin was probably one of my favorite comedians. He made a thing about the government, and I'll play it up a little bit. But this is the way I feel. Like I said, I wish that universities were free. I wish basic healthcare was free. Well, no, I'd say basic. So if you have cancer, I think the government should take care of you. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Here you go.
Too fucking bright. Talk to one of them about this.
Out COVID shots. Why not give out
talk to them about it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said they're giving out COVID shots. Why not give out chemotherapy?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They said we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools.
This never gets old.
Kids. You say to them, well, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. So don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass. The school looks good. Everybody's happy. The IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points. And pretty soon, all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start? Left behind? Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want.
So I'm sorry, that's my rant. George Carlin. We got somebody on the line. Caller, who is it?
It's Daryl, man.
Hey, Daryl, how you feeling?
Fantastic. Just caught the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Daryl. Thanks for joining us.
Daryl's been on the show in the previous show. So, Daryl, I saw you at your office the other day. How's business?
Great, man.
Yeah.
We're doing great.
What's going on?
Good.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to chime in on the college thing. I am a dad of 3 college graduates.
Congratulations.
One's actually his doctorate in education. He's a principal down in North Carolina. And, you guys are talking. And I think sometimes we get lost in that we don't understand that what creates success is the struggle. Everything comes from the mud. Like E40 said, you got to get it out the dirt. It's really about the struggle, especially as a young person. It's just part of the system that creates this process. Even though we might call the system evil, it's still a part of the process that says it takes a desire to be successful. And sometimes without that desire, without the struggle to create the desire, you're not going to be successful.
I agree.
That's a good perspective. Yeah.
So, I think we get lost in making things too easy. Things are too easy now.
So do you think the government should be on the hook to pay for your child's education if they want to go to a university?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I think
do you see
there should be incentives. For instance.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, is it because, you're a taxpayer just like me and you say, hey, you know what, somebody's got to pay for the education and if we eventually pay for it anyways if we're paying taxes for it? Is that the way you're looking at it? Or is it because you're saying it's just too easy because if we hand somebody an education, it's too easy?
And they won't appreciate it.
They're going to use it.
Yeah, I get that.
Say it again?
No, I get that they're not appreciating if they have to struggle.
He said, say it again.
Are you still there?
You, Drake. He said
Yeah,
he asked you to say it again.
Oh, no, I was just saying is if you don't appreciate that you're struggling for it, that they don't appreciate it and they won't use it.
Isn't that the truth, though? I'm old enough to know.
Well, what about the countries that provide free college for their, students there? I mean, there's lots of successful people in those colleges that appreciate it and strive very high from the education they receive. How do you feel about those?
I look at things kind of holistically. I really try and see all the angles of the way things work. It's just the way my mind is fixed. Mm-hmm. And just in this country alone, we were built to be from the struggle. That's the nature of an American. Put on a mask. Hell no, I ain't putting on no mask. Don't put on a mask. Fuck you, I'm going to put on a mask. That's the nature of who we are as people. Right. Tell us to do something, we'll do the opposite and make it just as effective. And that's because of the struggle. The struggle is what creates the success. For instance, if you even take it back thousands of years ago, there's no need for a hut in a tree if you weren't being attacked by animals. All of these struggles create what's next. Just like in my business, we have a gentleman who has ties to the Caribbean, and his concern and wanting to help them helped us create a new product that we are now in the stages of product development. That's what awesome. I'm saying. That without these things happening, there's no innovation for what the possibilities could be. So if you're going around giving people things, to me, it's just like welfare. I think welfare is the death sentence for people. Not in the sense that they don't need it, but in the sense that it should have a cutoff. It should have a job training associated with it. You should have all of those things that move you through it, not keep you on it. Right. So that's part of the problem of this country is that we, you know, this might sound crazy, but sometimes we're too liberal, we're too giving, we already give too much, and it's creating the fact that we don't have enough scientists. You want to give free university, you give it to scientists and people who are innovating for our future. I'll give them free education. But
I absolutely agree. I believe that those people definitely deserve it. I don't think that there should be a college student that is paying debt off to their 40s and 50s because they wanted to become a doctor or a researcher or a scientist or an astronaut. I don't think that these are things that they should have to worry and struggle about. I think that they should be able to carry out their purpose, what they worked so hard for and spent so many years in school to do, when a lot of people just fell off because they were too lazy to go to school or they didn't have the means to do so. Those people, absolutely. Now, the ones that are like, I'm just going to go for business. All 4 years business. You know that student. They don't really know what they want to do. They're just going because their parents made them. You know, they're just going because they wanted to see the hot girls, or, you know, they're one of those things. Then I think maybe some incentives for them and in some ways that they can cut corners, but still, you know, be able to go. But those who are really, like you said, want to be innovative and make a difference in the world, I really don't feel that they should have the struggles that they have. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't pay something or there shouldn't be a curve, but to come out and you're trying to save lives, right? You're doing your residency, you're doing all these things and your internships in this, and you are literally broke. Ramen noodle is a delicacy to you. I don't think that's fair. I mean, we all go through a struggle, but damn, let these kids do what they came to do. That's just my opinion.
But your struggle is a part of your choice. I mean, especially nowadays, every medical student who goes into medical school and they understand that part of the process. They're looking for
but they're still struggling. Like, I've met so many that are not sleeping, and they're on 22-hour shifts, and they're sleeping at the hospital during their, you know, residency, and they got bags under their eyes, and they're kids. So that struggle alone, I feel, that's important. You have to go through that to really love what you're doing, and that what deciphers you from knowing if you love it or if you just wanted to just do it because your mom wanted you to be a doctor or your mom wanted you to be, you know.
I agree. It'll weed you quick.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You see these salesmen making all of this money, and they hit that first door and they're like, "Oh, this is the job."
Exactly, right? And I knew a girl who she's a lawyer. She didn't want to be a lawyer. It just wasn't what she wanted to do. But that's what her mom and dad told her she was going to be, and that's what she was going to be. And her sister is a doctor, and I could probably guess that her sister probably didn't want to be a doctor either. I mean, she's grown into it now. And the one who's a lawyer, she now is, you know, she's writing books and she's doing other things that really don't pertain to her being a lawyer. And she had to break it to her mom, and her mother was literally like, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you ruining the family?" Like, she didn't want to be that. So I think that, you know, that alone is a huge pressure. There's so many different pressures for these kids. I just think that the financial burden of it shouldn't be trickling into decades after they've put in the work and they continue to put in the work. That's where I'm saying I don't feel that financial burden, that struggle needs to be there, because there's so much other things that are going on that is a struggle that they are holding up to do. So
I don't disagree. I really don't. It's not, you know, part of it too is that we live in an American system. It's a capitalist system. It's about, you know, if you can afford it, well, let's change the price, or you can't, and you're required to put it on time. And
Yeah.
Interests, and that's the nature of what we are. Now, until that changes, the other stuff isn't going to change. And the other thing I would
agree.
like to say is,
I agree.
when you choose a profession, especially today, I mean, everything that you could possibly want to know, good and bad, is a YouTube podcast. You know what I mean?
It's available to
you. It's a click away. It's a click away.
Choice. When you're making the choice to do that thing, you're really choosing that life.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, because we're not in the life and we haven't chosen that line, it looks like a struggle, to me, so.
Well, Daryl, I appreciate you.
I agree.
I appreciate
Well, thank you for your perspective, Daryl. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh,
thanks, man.
It's awesome. Thanks for supporting some great conversations.
Appreciate it, man.
I will always, brother. Love you, man.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, he's right in a lot of senses because, back in the day, I'm talking about 1997, before I even dropped out, and then eventually I did get my diploma. We was going, actually, I think I was a sophomore, and we was getting taken to Wayne State, and it was a Hispanic group that would help students out that were still in high school, like prep you. It would prep you. It would prep you for to go to college and help you figure out what you want to do and stuff like that. But it was all paid for, like he said. So it was giving people in the inner city a boost, and all you had to do was reach out. So I think it's 50-50. I agree with everything he said, but I just think it's 50-50. You have to still be willing to make the choices, and like you said, put in the work, because not everybody has the money to go to college. You know what I mean? And the people that had the money didn't. I know a lot of people that didn't have the money to go to college and didn't go to college because they didn't need to, because they were already taken care of through their parents or whatever it may be. And I'm like, damn, I wish I could have went, but you know what? That was I set myself up to not go or to go. That was on me. So I agree with everything he said, but it depends, everybody has different situations. So
yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go down the rabbit hole, but
no, that was good stuff right there. I mean,
no, I agree.
That was the first, like I said, that was the first thing I thought about, was like, there is a lot of people have to reach out. There's more help out there nowadays. Think about
all the minds out there. All the kids out there and the people out there that want to go to college, but they don't have the money to do so. And I know that there's grants and there's scholarships and all of those things, but some of them don't make it that far because they're intimidated by all of it. And like Daryl said, you got to put in the work. If you're really that serious about it, you have to find a way. That alone is a struggle in itself. I'm not saying things should just be handed on a silver platter. I think that there should be some sort of, again, the word he used, struggle, some sort of, give and take, in the sense where you have to put in the work, you have to put in the want, and you have to put in the desire and the action. You can't just, speak about it. You got to be about it. Yeah. But I still can't fathom getting out of college and busting my ass for all these years.
My parents paid
and having a huge debt.
My parents paid for my education, but as soon as they saw me that all I did was partying, they were like, "Oh, we're done.
You're done. You're done."
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that paid that got $20,000-$30,000 loans out and paid their own shit. They did that on their own, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So, like I said, that was
paid for education, but
they were actually smart enough to do that and paid all that shit on their own and got for 3 or 4 kids to this day or whatever. So I'm like, there ain't no excuses, man. I mean, to me personally, if I wanted to go to college and all that, I didn't really see myself doing nothing like that. But I mean, you can, it don't hurt to try anything. Our cousin is in, finishing up his
master's.
His master's, I believe. Yeah. So I mean, it's never too late. That's for sure. It's never too late. And
Definitely
I
never
got
too
a bunch
late.
of shit sitting here to do certain things, and it's like, but do I really want to do that? I don't want to waste nobody's time, my money, because I already did that. I already spent 15 grand on broadcast school.
We just need to know what you want,
now, but,
as a profession and where you want to go forward with it. But no, it's never too late. I have friends right now that are in their late 40s that are, just a friend the other day posted, she just finished her end of her first semester. And she's in her 40s, and she said one day they're going to call me doctor. So, it's the timing of your life as well.
I wanted to be a porn star, but I wasn't blessed with the huge cock. So there you go.
Get an implant.
Get it. Oh, yeah. I want the pump.
All about an implant. We'll get you an Austin Powers pump.
Damn right.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole. SpongeBob SquarePants, the Rusty Crab, is ripoff. Viacom sues a restaurant claiming it's a parody. So there's a restaurant in Houston calling it the Rusty Crab instead of the Krusty Krab. It has all the decors of SpongeBob. So I got to be honest with you. How much of an idiot are you to build out a restaurant? Let's say you spend a couple $100,000, maybe even $1 million, to build it looking like SpongeBob's SquarePants shit, calling it the Rusty instead of the Krusty. Like, are you not talking to your attorneys? Like, your attorney should have said, hey, fucker, we're going to get sued. Let's not do this. Like, they still open the Rusty Crab. Like, I don't get it. Like, you're got to be a dumb.
You got to be a whole ass dumbass to do that and think that you're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
It's a major iconic thing, right? Like what?
Right.
It's not even a little. I could understand if they called it the Rusty Crab.
Sounds even worse. Sounds horrible.
Right. They called it the Rusty Crab, but the inside just looked like a seafood restaurant. Yeah. I could see them getting away with that because I see all these red crab.
Yeah.
Everything is SpongeBob themed. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-mm. No, you're an idiot.
Viacom said you guys are idiots.
You're not that smart. Clearly, they're idiots. They weren't even smart enough to come up with their own idea.
Right.
Dumbasses. No. And again, who's your lawyer? Better yet, who's your friend? You don't have friends that are like, this seems not. This is a legal situation. This doesn't seem like it's going to go well.
I think I had this conversation. We, especially I'm wearing Alex's dad's shirt, tribute shirt.
Love it. I need to get one.
Eddie's our graphic art. Eddie's our graphic artist, and we always have these conversations. Yeah. Can we do this? Can we do that? And he's always the voice of reason. And he always says, look, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll do whatever you want. You pay me to do whatever the fuck you want. I get it. But I got to advise you. He always says that. I got to advise you. Is this copyright shit? You might get fucking sued. I'm telling you now. And then I say, okay, well, let's modify it. Let's do this. So they got to have somebody on that end saying, hey, dude, you got a fucking SpongeBob in your fucking restaurant, and you got it looking like SpongeBob's fucking restaurant. This might not fly. So I'm just telling you, they don't.
Maybe he has that much money, he don't give a shit.
Well, it goes to show money doesn't buy brains because you're not very smart.
Some people don't give a shit. They're gonna go with the name, man.
Yeah, I get that, but you might as well just throw a couple million out the window. Because if they spend that type of money to build out, because they had SpongeBob characters coming in the restaurant. Now,
oh my God!
Well, he's obviously that's what I'm saying. See, he's obviously spending some type of money there, so obviously he has that type of money. Maybe it's nothing to him. Maybe it's nothing to him.
SpongeBob characters, really?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I know Alex has never been to Hollywood Boulevard. I know Tori has. So they have like these bootleg Mickey Mouse SpongeBob characters. They look like knockoffs. They look like they were from Mexico, like
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. They got
these, but same thing. Yeah.
So they had these knockoff characters. So customers have complained. They said the food wasn't good and they had the knockoff characters. So I'm like, so that's
double whammy.
Yeah. Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like I said, definitely they didn't have any friends to talk to. Is there
I mean, you know, when it comes to anything like that, like, gotta be a little. It's okay to steal certain things, but you know, like me and you talked. Like I said, I thought about doing, you know, but I'm like everybody in the world does that with the NWO. You know, do it Alex Sportsmouth, ASM, NWO letters for my. But if I did that, I'm doing that for my own. Have a shirt or two, for my own personal wear.
I feel
Not
like there's
to try
a
to put
difference
it out there as a
between
brand.
imitation and copying.
Exactly.
You know, you can imitate somebody. You want to be successful, you watch what successful people do.
Right.
You want you follow what successful people do. You hang around them. You mimic their actions.
Right.
You don't copy the whole ass idea down to the characters and the decor, like, and the name of the actual place, and you change. The only thing changed is one letter out of everything.
Right.
That right there is just, you're just flat out foolish. I mean, anybody who has any sort of business mindset in general, you would think that would grasp and say, hey, red flag, I can't, you know, I can't do this. Just like, what is it, in Coming to America, they had McDonald's and they had
McDonald's. Excuse me a second,
you know?
guys. One more time.
Yeah, he kept saying, oh, and you know,
they're McFlurry.
Yeah, somebody here for you. It's not McDonald's, right?
Right, it's not McDonald's, right? The McFlurry, theirs has it all in. Ours has the fruit on the bottom and the top, or whatever he had said, right? Like, no, it's basically the same. You got the golden arches.
You got the golden arch.
We got the golden arch, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I would think, like, if Burger King had a Burger Queen, they would be like, skirt. No, that's going to be a no.
It's going to be a no.
It's going to be a whole ass no.
Well, they had White Castle, right? In White Castle. And I don't know if you ever been to them. I never been to them. I think my parents been to them. But they had White Towers, and it was the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I remember the name. I've never been to one.
I think they're all closed now, but
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Sliders. They had the castle and everything. It's called White Towers.
That's just. How did they get away with that?
I don't know. Well, we're talking Wild West days, so we're talking.
Oh, okay. Back in the day.
Years ago, copyright things wasn't a. You know what I mean? Like you could.
Right.
You could come out with your own thing. You know what I mean? I think I brought up this show many times, but it's called Food That Made America, and it's on the History Channel. That, you know, the guy that came up with the Baby Ruth, he presented it to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth said no, and he did it anyways. And then Babe Ruth came out with his own bar. But
yeah, I thought about that yesterday. Speaking of that show, you were talking about the Food That Made America. A friend of mine is in Pittsburgh, and did you know that there is a Big Mac museum there?
No.
So yeah, I'll tag you in the post. So yeah, there's a Big Mac museum, and she posted all kinds of pictures. But it's called here, I have it pulled up right now. Yeah, it's Uniontown, Pennsylvania, birthplace of the Big Mac.
Oh, wow.
And they have it's a McDonald's that you can eat in. So they all, of course, got a Big Mac, right? But it's all memorabilia of the Big Mac, like the original, you know, that styrofoam casing it came in. They have like the glass case that showed where they kept the patties, and it had like labeled like crown, middle, heel, so they knew which ones went to which.
Right.
And like what year it was used from. There was a Big Mac toaster that was used from like 1970 to 1997.
That was for the 40th anniversary of McDonald's.
So it was.
I was telling. They have a Big Mac sauce machine. at
Wow.
this museum, and
Oh,
it looks like, remember the old milkshake? Well, actually, it's probably not old because I still see them, places, the milkshake machine that you would put the cup up underneath and the,
Yeah.
it would swirl it or whatever, but it kind of looked kind of ancient, right? In the 1950s
Right.
diners.
Right.
They had
metal
they had a cup that said Big Mac sauce on it, and that's how they would make their sauce. They would stir it up like that. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. They went there, but they even had like the Mac Tonight menu. Remember Mac Tonight?
Mac Tonight.
And yeah, and the Mac Tonight, like all the memorabilia. They had a Mac Tonight toaster and a towels and all kinds of cool shit. Yeah,
I always bring him up. I always bring him up to people, and they're like, "Who?" So many people forget. I'm like, "You don't remember the Mac Tonight?" Oh my god.
Yeah,
like, wow.
Uniontown,
you don't remember giving out the Muppet Babies and all that?
Oh, that must have been.
Remember that?
Birthplace, yeah, birthplace of the Big Mac. Go there and check out the Big Mac Museum. I was going to tag you guys like, hey, road trip, let's go to the Big Mac Museum.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
And we need to go to the last blockbuster in Washington. There's the last standing Blockbusters.
Washington, as in Seattle or DC?
Yeah, and Washington in like Seattle. It's somewhere up there.
You gotta watch that on Netflix. The last Blockbuster.
Last Blockbuster.
Oh, I gotta see that. That used to be our shit. You remember when you were okay?
It's pretty.
When you were, young adults. It was like, oh, is it? Maybe
but it's good. It's good. You gotta watch it. Check it out.
It's funny because we were just talking about it, but do you remember walking in a Blockbuster and in that you had that smell, the candy popcorn smell?
Yeah. It was the best Friday night smell ever.
Exactly.
Like you were going to pick out your movie, right? Yeah, everybody, and when you got there, everybody branched off. You went one way, they went the other. It was like, okay.
Right.
But it was funny because Blockbuster, because you've been to the small video stores. Blockbuster did the adult section where you had to go through the beads.
Yeah. Yep.
They didn't have that. They didn't have that back room.
The behind the wall room.
Yeah.
There's like a little cubby. You go back there.
I'll give you a little.
They did though. The one I went to, there was one I went to that was that had adult. I don't think it was adult movies like that, but I think it was just more of like the rated R, little more risque movies that they kept on the wall that only your parents were allowed to go over there.
Wow.
But they weren't rated X movies.
So I'll give you a spoiler, and I know you probably watch it. It's on Netflix. It's the last Blockbuster. So the owner, chairman, whatever, president of Blockbuster, Netflix at the time was a brand new company. They approached them and they laughed them out of the boardroom. Isn't that funny?
Really?
Yeah. They told them to go fuck themselves.
Well, that didn't end too well, did it?
No, I think that's funny. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But go ahead and watch it.
Insert foot.
It's a Netflix. So you brought this story up and had it on the screen for a while. Vets walking around the streets of California to treat homeless people's animal for free. And I'll play the video.
Yeah.
Wait, Bill, tell me his name again.
Oh, Eli Manning.
Eli Manning.
Yeah, like the football player.
Oh, baby.
I got him the day the Giants beat the San Francisco 49ers to go to the Super Bowl.
Well, I must mention, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so I'm wondering, should I muzzle him? Is he going to bite me when I start out on this?
You'll be fine. He loves Cowboys too.
I'm thinking after we treat Eli, I can get Bill to become a Cowboys fan too. Then it's definitely worth it.
So I thought that was cute.
I love that. I thought that was one of the greatest stories. Like, how amazing is that he goes around and helps service homeless pets. There's so many homeless people out there that have pets. Right. It's their companion. A friend of mine who, my friend Michelle, she services a social worker for the homeless here in Arizona in the Phoenix area. And she said a lot of them have pets. They start out as kind of like watchdogs for them because they're so used to being with them. When they're sleeping on the street, it protects them. Their dog won't let anybody touch them. So she always said, you know,
course.
if there's a homeless person who you walk up on and they have a pet, don't just reach for their pet. Ask, you know, if their pet, if you're offering food, or, you know, you put your hand out to make sure that it's okay, because these dogs, you know, this is their security system. These dogs have been trained to protect them. But I see so many. Just the other night, I went to go get a hot and ready pizza, and there was a gentleman that sits outside the Little Caesars over here, and he has a dog, and God, I just love seeing him. So, you know, I bring him pizza and cookies and the dog, we hang out. And I end up, by the time I get home, my pizza's cold because I stood there for a half hour playing with the dog and talking with him, just, you know, conversating and eating a slice of pizza with him. But I think that's so awesome that that guy is going around servicing those animals. They need love too.
That's funny you say that,
It's good
because
shit.
there's a guy around the corner from me in a wheelchair with one of the cutest dogs too, and I forgot what kind of dog it is, but
Best.
one of the little, I was like, man, your dog, and I always give him a couple bucks, and I did the same thing with him before too. I bought him because he's hanging out in front of the Little Caesars with the little plaza, and I went in there and I bought his dog, you know, some treats and shit. They're like, you know, like $1 at the Family Dollar, and I bought it, and same thing. I was like, man, your dog is so cute, like, so I gave him a couple bucks, but.
I love that his
Made me
dog's
think
name
about
was
that.
Eli Manning. I think that's so
Made me think
cute.
about that. I just was like, yeah. Guy's got his dog with him all the time. I'm like, man.
It's awesome. We don't deserve dogs. We don't deserve animals, I swear. They're too good to us.
So the CDC advised group recommends extra shot for uncompromised patients. So they're saying, you know, if you have a compromised immune system, definitely they recommend you getting a booster shot. So I don't know when they're going to be launched.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network.
Verizon did it again. Oops, I did it again, Verizon.
So there you go. CDC. California man allegedly raped an 8-year-old girl before the grandfather chases him out. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't look up none of these stories. Not this week. I left those alone.
San Jose Police Department, California, arrested a man accused of breaking into a family home earlier this month, raping an 8-year-old girl before his grandfather chased him out of the house, according to authorities. Kenneth Dupree, 24, is accused of breaking into a victim's home on August 6 around 7:30, 100 block of Demont Drive.
Kill that motherfucker.
At one point, he sexually assaulted her, according to the district attorney. The nightmare of crime has shaken all of us. So the grandfather chased him out. I would have fucking killed him.
I'd have killed him.
He would have left that house.
I'd have killed him. No, he wouldn't have left that house.
If I killed him outside, I would have dragged him back in.
Yep. Oh, man. I can't even.
What's the number?
I can't even imagine. So how did they catch him if he chased him out? I mean, maybe the grandfather was trying to kill him and couldn't get him quick enough.
Yeah, they just said they caught him right away. That's all the story says. He's in a.
No, the cops need to kill that motherfucker. You know, they over here killing innocent people. Kill people who are raping children.
Yeah.
And abusing kids. Kill them. We're okay with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to play this story.
Poor baby.
Horrible. So there's they interviewed a Trump guy. Hear why a Trump supporter says he won't get vaccinated. And I'm trying to find the video, and I have it. Oh, here it is.
Alex's face, though.
Anything that's got to do with that guy. I mean, it's just.
Here we go.
It just doesn't. It just make you laugh or want to barf?
No.
One or the other.
Cringe.
Not going to. Any particular reason?
You know what? I just think about Trump because.
See, why would you?
When one time when he was speaking, my daughter, and I had it on.
Is he vaccinated?
Trying to be an American and watch him speak.
I don't know if I missed this.
Say that again.
Trump's vaccinated, right?
I think he was, yeah.
Was it like there was like a whole national thing?
I thought they were saying that he didn't want to get it or something, or they're trying to convince him to get it. I thought I read something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. I kind of stopped paying attention to him because, like you said,
when Twitter and
like,
Facebook cut it, man,
right.
they cut it.
But no, my daughter was
So
like,
much
you know, obviously a couple years ago, she was just like, God, she's like, who talks like that? And I was just like so blown away. And I thought that was the funniest shit that I heard in so long.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, she was like, she's gonna be 17. She was 15 at the time, 14 maybe, I think 15. She was like, who talks like that? She was like, God, he's so annoying.
All right, I'll let
and I just thought that was the funniest shit in the world because, like, she understands things that he talks about, and I was, you know, at my age, I didn't care about, you know, presidential stuff or not, but she was just.
He's got a kindergarten vocabulary. His kindergarten vocabulary would annoy anybody. Okay, let's hear what the Trumper, why the Trumper won't get vaccinated. I want to hear him.
Want to laugh?
Why not?
Not going to.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Natural immunities to everything.
See,
why would you want to interfere?
You're an older man than I am. You're probably in the what the government would say is the risk category.
Well, who come up with that?
The scientists and the doctors.
Who told them to say that?
Even though it's the Trump vaccine, the doctors, the scientists.
That ain't a Trump vaccine. He did it to please everybody that put the pressure on him.
He got the shot himself.
Who says he got the shot? He got fixed up.
He got the shot. He got it in January, I think, before he left.
I don't think he got the shot. I think he got some stuff to make him better.
And, you know, I think this is really telling, Anderson, right? Because I think this is an example of the base sort of controlling Trump. You know, Trump has been very, very quiet about.
So there you go. Did you get it?
Man, I thought we were going to listen to something good. I literally just lost brain cells listening to that. I lost brain cells.
Fixed up.
There you go.
You know what? I look at it like this. The people who don't want to get vaccine, let them all die off. But the shitty part is that they're infecting other people because, again, getting the vaccine doesn't mean that you're going to not get it. It just means that you have a 0.2% chance of dying rather than like the rest of the, you know, percentage that are going to have the chance of dying. Okay. So, I mean, if that's the case, let them all kill themselves off. Let the trash take itself out.
So here's Arnold Schwarzenegger slamming anti-maskers, screw freedom.
That don't believe in masks. There's still people out there that say, well, we have to do social distancing and all this kind of stuff. There is misinformation out there. And my point of it was basically, look, there's no one that knows more about it than I do because I studied this issue for 50 years. And the same is also with the virus. There are people out there that are experts that study this year after year after year and that are experienced, like Dr. Fauci that has been in this, probably for his entire life. I mean, why would you not believe someone like that? So, and there's so many other scientists out there and experts in this subject. So I believe them and I follow them very carefully. And of course, sometimes things are happening that are unexpected. So then you have to make the adjustments and all that. But I think people should know there is a virus here. It kills people. And the only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
Screw your
because
freedom.
With freedom comes obligations and responsibilities.
No, easy with the hardware.
You're right. Your freedom does come with responsibilities and obligations.
I love everything he said.
That last sentence is such a fucking vibe.
I love everything he said.
Mm-hmm. And that last sentence is such a vibe. I love it.
Hey, get to the chopper. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I love everything he said. And you know what I love the most? That he actually apologized for saying, you know what, that was a little harsh. Man, when do you ever hear anybody say some shit and apologize for it? Never.
Well, he apologized for people that are sad
on these type of subjects.
Yeah.
You just don't hear
that last
shit,
line really just summed it up. Your freedom comes with obligation.
Right. And he said so much more.
And responsibility.
He said so much more, and I love every word of it.
Huge. A whole ass vibe in itself.
And he's angry. That's why he gets a pass. He's angry. Where you know.
Hardware. Sorry.
Wear your mask. So
you're killing me, Drake. You're killing me, motherfucker. You're killing me.
We gotta call him. Who is it? Hello.
What? Hello.
Yes, easy with well.
What's up, Tone?
Son.
Hey, what's
It's
up?
Big Baby Jesus up in this biatch.
Hey, what's up? We got Tone C.
What's cracking?
What's cracking?
How's your son doing today at his game?
All is well. You know that. He's doing good. What's good? What y'all talking about, man? If y'all talking about side, I ain't commenting about that.
We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "Fuck your freedom. Wear your mask."
Man, fuck that communist fucking Russian Jew, whatever the fuck he is. Man, his dad was like with Hitler hanging out.
That's the Terminator, man.
Maybe
the Terminator.
Don't talk about the Terminator.
Paranoid hater. He probably shot steroids up through his head or some shit.
Oh. Hell no.
I say something bad.
So he won't be back, is what you're saying.
Man, fuck him.
How you
Hasta la vista, Joto.
So how you
so
doing
what do you
today?
want to talk about today? What do you want to talk about?
I was just listening to some of your guys' stuff. I was over here. I was a little bit busy. I just got in there. I was listening to you watching the Lions. I seen some post last night. People was like, I'm waiting for people to say same old Lions. I'll say it, same old fucking Lions.
Right?
Damn.
Times 10.
As soon as that, hey, you hear me out. As soon as that announcer said this offensive line is going to be one of the best, they sacked off. Man, that quarterback too. This poor guy, he's going to get killed over here.
Hey, I was like, at least Dan Campbell looks like a head coach. He doesn't look like he rolled out of bed and just put a pencil in his ear without brushing his teeth and showed up at practice.
Man.
So at least he looks like that was the best thing I took out of that game yesterday. And then I turned it off. Started watching the summer.
I ain't gonna hold you up. I could have swore I did a fucking posse with that guy in the bathroom in Southwest.
Oh my god.
Big Dan Campbell.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't wear any of my Lions gear I bought. I bought Lions gear just hoping that it would be like this would be a different year, and no.
So two questions for you, Tone C. What is their record going to be, and who's winning the Super Bowl?
Oh shit! The Super Bowl. There's probably about 3 teams. I'm thinking. Obviously, Tampa's probably a heavy favorite. What's it called? What's the other Fox?
Mahomes.
Kansas City always is going to be in there. Right. The Rams probably up in there, and unfortunately, I hate to say this, but it's probably true. Buffalo and Pittsburgh are neck and neck.
Okay. And then what is the Lions' record going to be?
Yeah, Buffalo was really good last year.
I got 9-7. Hey, Alex got 8-8. What do you got?
I agreed with 8-8.
9-7?
I do.
Who's got 8-8?
Alex.
I'm just trying to be happy. I'm just trying to be happy.
Tori, what do you got?
I agree with Alex. I said 8-8. I tried.
Which 8 games are they winning? Tell me which 8 games they're winning.
I can't.
And then you add in the 9th game, please.
Well, you know what? I'm adding because Kirk Cousins, if he ain't reporting, the guy don't want to get a shot. That's the best. Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback of the Vikings. Ain't Kirk Cousins the starting quarterback of the Vikings or no?
You should be a politician. You hear my question? What 8 games are they winning? Tell me.
I'm trying to ask you a question. Is Kirk Cousins the starting quarterback for the Vikings? If he's not the starting quarterback, that's 2 games right there. And the Chicago Bears got a rookie quarterback, so that's another 2 games right there. And that's just wishing upon a star. So that's 4 right there.
That's 4 right there.
Another 2 at home and 2 on the road. Pick them.
Boom.
Wow. Man, let me tell you something.
When's
the last time we swept Minnesota? When's the last time we swept Minnesota? When's the last time we swept Chicago?
Do you know who I'm just saying Kirk Cousins is their best quarterback, and if he doesn't play, I'm hoping it's 2 games right there.
Man, listen to me. Kirk Cousins is a Michigan State jerk off. They ain't gonna do shit. I'm trying to tell you.
Right. He don't even want, but he don't want to get the COVID shot. So he's not going to be able to play. I don't even know who their backup is.
Well, it's going to mess with his herpes medication. That's why shit.
Well,
can't blame the guy.
The fuck?
You don't want to spread COVID or herpes.
You ain't got the fucking love bumps. You ain't got the love bumps. He does. He went to state.
I don't make.
Hey, I'm a state fan. He went to don't.
Give me herpes if you pay me $10 million a year. Shit.
Damn.
It's treatable. I got that money. I got the money to treat this shit. It's all good.
Huh?
Yeah. It's treatable. Hey, it's treatable. Okay, little track.
Drink some blue Kool-Aid, man.
Maybe I called the wrong show.
So I got
This is the Dane Campbell show.
Agrees to step down as Brittney's commissary, whatever, her guardian. Conservatory. What is your thoughts?
You're asking the wrong guy about that.
I gotta ask. What's your thoughts of Britney Spears?
Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Oh, her dad can let her have her money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her freedom.
I can't remember how old she is. How old is she now?
Oh, she's grown.
She's like 40 almost. Like 40.
Yeah, she's up there.
Listen to me. If she ain't got her money she's almost 40 years old.
No, it's not just money.
Getting her money.
Everything. Like allowing her what
She's 39. She's 39.
Fucking Judge Judy. Listen, if she just getting her money right now for herself, that bitch don't need that money. He needs to keep doing what he's doing for her. She's crazy. I'm telling you. She gonna fucking bet it all out red or something. Retarded ass, bro.
Hey, brother. Appreciate it. Much love. Thanks for calling in. Love you. Talk to you soon.
All is well, Nick.
Thanks for joining.
So, if she steps down, the father steps down. I was hearing that something about Britney Spears was paying the mom's mortgage or something and paying like $2 million to take care of her mother. Like, really? Like, really?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like,
yeah.
When was this in place? Like, I know when she went off
So they're gonna, from what I understand, they're gonna transfer conservatory, right? He's gonna step down, and there's gonna be somebody else that's gonna be in place. That was my understanding.
Right.
I think it's well overdue. I think her parents, father, mother, family have absolutely taken advantage of her entire life from birth. They're the reason she has these mental issues. She was their cash cow from the moment they knew that she was talented and could produce a check. I mean, the mom, she never even worked. And she was so out of control with it that I understand at the beginning why the dad stepped in. But he was the cause of these things, him and her. And then she had the breakdown with the guy she got pregnant with, the Federline guy, and the pregnancy and all those things.
So when did she lose it? When she shaved her head? I can't even remember.
Well, that was the boil over, right? There was so much going on prior to that and people taking advantage of her that when she shaved her head, she had it, right? Her mom, her dad, her husband, soon to be ex, baby daddy, they're all fucking taking advantage of her. Look at him. Look at the amount of money he collects from her just because she popped out 2 kids for him. He's fucking paid child support.
Damn, I want to get pregnant.
I'm telling you, Brittany's been through a lot. So for people to sit here, they're like, oh, she's crazy. I mean, everybody has their breaking point. Everybody has their point where they're done and they need to check out for a whole hot minute. Do I believe that she needs mental care? Absolutely. I think mental health is huge. Do I think that he needs to step down? Absolutely. It's the buck stops here. He's squandered so much of her money. Money of hers has disappeared. There's so much that has gone into it that he's been in control of that, it's time that he needs to step down and somebody else needs to be in control or help her get control of what needs to be. Because you have to think, too, this is kind of like somebody, and people might say this is a little dramatic or drastic to even compare, but this is like somebody being in jail. Now, I know it's like being in $1 million jail, right? But when you're a prisoner in your own life, I don't really think the walls of confinement really matter because it's all the constriction that you have on you. So now she's going into a whole new world where she's got to make decisions that she wasn't allowed to make. Not that she didn't have to make them, she just wasn't allowed to make them. So these are all things that she's going to need to be taught. You're going to be 4 years old and she doesn't even know probably how to pay bills or how to drive, certain things that she wasn't allowed to do, or it's going to be a learning process for her. But I think that it's owed to her. This bitch worked her fucking ass off for a very long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even think she has to worry about paying no bills. I don't think she has to worry about none of that.
Well, just making sure her things, just, in the sense of bills, making sure her assets are in order, right, and that the money goes to what's being paid, because everybody has bills. Even rich people have bills, but they're just set on auto, right? They don't have to think about them.
Well, she got people to take care of what takes care of all of that. I mean.
And hopefully these are people that aren't, she has things that are being set into place for her that are going to be taken care of, and know that she can control these people, right? She can say, this is my go-to, this is the person who's going to delegate these things, other than her dad, who's like, I'm in control. This is, and he made the statement, I'm still her father. Well, you're a shitty ass dad. You're a shitty dad.
Shitty. All right, so Dr. Dre, eldest daughter, 38, reveals she's homeless, living out of her SUV rental, hasn't received anything from him in 18 months despite repeating pleas for help. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, LaTanya Young, has been living out of her car while working as a delivery driver, DoorDash, Uber Eats.
She's 28?
38-year-old. And she's still not seen her superstar rapper father, has repeatedly asked for financial help. Hip-hop legend is worth $800 million. So, I don't know.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Because she's 38. How do you feel about that?
I love my daughters, and I spoil them. I probably would be spoiling my 38-year-old daughter, but there's got to be a time. Like, I had this conversation with my daughter the other day. Like, I'm like, hey, she doesn't know the meaning of money sometimes, right? And I'm like, it doesn't grow on trees. If it did, everybody would have some. So definitely, I think he probably should have had this conversation with her 25 years ago. Like, hey, I'll set you up. I'll help you become or do something that you like. Here's some money. Let's open up a business. Let's get you a productive adult.
Right.
38 years old.
I'd like to know her history in that sense. Yeah. Like, why didn't he take this money? And I just feel we need to know the history. Did he try to help her? Is she fucking up?
He cut her off. He didn't want nothing to do with her.
So she could have already had a business started.
There was a lot of things going on already. She tried to reach out and try to, she said she was reaching out to him because she wanted him to see his grandkids. Whether she's telling the truth or not, it does, I believe her.
So you think she was trying to extort money and use the grandkids as a bribe?
I mean, how can you answer that? You can't, right, in my opinion. So, but the way she made it sound was like she actually, she was trying to ask for literally any type of help. So, I mean, I feel for her and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's like you shouldn't blame nobody. And he was getting hit on Twitter and stuff like that. A lot of
Yeah, we don't know the history.
Bad things going on.
He could have been helping her, and he just finally said, you know what? I gave you all this money. Help her before. You're making poor choices. Yeah, if you continue to, you're helping somebody and they're not helping themselves, and you're making poor choices. I mean, he did come from the struggle. He got his own money on his, he got his money on his own.
Exactly.
There has to be a time that you have to say, hey, this is where it stops. I'm going to need you to pull yourself up and do this yourself. And as a 38-year-old woman, and there's a lot of things that have happened to me where I have put all my eggs in a basket thinking that these people were going to have my back, or that financial situation was going to be there. And when that shit fell through, whether it was from somebody who was just mediocre or a millionaire, I said, okay, time to move the fuck on and do what I got to do. Yeah. Not sit up in a car being homeless and crying about
She
my
was
dad
working.
being a millionaire.
No, she was working. She was working on the assembly line, and so she's trying to do things, working a couple jobs, stuff like that, and all that. So, I mean, I'm looking at the story like, I mean, I guess the story came out because she literally tried to ask for help, and probably, who knows, maybe she called in a station or a radio station and said, "Look, I want to do this." I don't know. Who knows? But obviously, if he literally,
you know what? Let me reach.
She reached out to his lawyers, and he didn't want to comment back. There's obviously history there of some bad kind. So I don't know. I mean, you can't help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. So
very true.
That's just, once again, like we just had our caller talk about earlier, and there's got to be a cutoff line. And like I just said about myself, yeah, maybe I did want to go to college and this and that, but guess what? Maybe I should have worked a lot harder than I did. So I don't blame my parents because they busted their ass to do enough to put me through Catholic school my whole entire life except for 1 year, which I fucked up. So, yeah, it's all about choices.
Let's get her on the show. Let's find out. So, Team USA paintball player kicked off after backlash over controversy TikTok. Andrea Martinez had just woken up from a nap. She saw the video of Team USA paintball team. Her husband has awakened, telling her something was up with her team. Her phone was going crazy. She said her teammates were competing on the East Coast, were frantically trying to contact her, alert that TikTok video was set off a firestorm. Once she opened the video, Martinez could not believe it. She was seeing Jessica Milano, Team USA paintball member, that posted a 15-second TikTok video of herself in front of an image of TV playing story about a teenager boy suffering from COVID-19. Your kid does not need a COVID shot. So,
excuse me.
Yeah, she was kicked off for controversial TikTok.
Because she said she was kicked off because she's an inconsiderate bitch and said that the kid needed a treadmill instead of a COVID shot.
Right.
Like, what kind of fucking bitch says some shit like that about a child that is sick? Like, what? Clearly, she doesn't have any children, and if she does, then some people just shouldn't procreate. Like, what? I don't know. It don't make no fucking sense to me. Yeah, we all say things. We all, have funny little. We say little things here and there. But then she tried to retract the statement and give some bullshit ass statement that says, "That's not what I meant. I didn't mean any. I wasn't judging anybody. I was just meaning that people need to take their health into their own hands." Bitch, that is not what you said. You said that baby needed a treadmill.
Right.
That has nothing to do with you saying that child needs. Right, her comment about, I was just trying to say that they needed to really take their health and their wellness into their own hands.
She should have just said, "I'm sorry," and shut the hell up.
And kept that shit moving and shut her fucking mouth. I'm sorry, what I said was insensitive.
That made me even more mad.
It was rude and it was insensitive. That made me even more mad to say that she even backtracked it to say that that's what she meant, because that has nothing to do with people taking their own health and wellness into their hands. She called that kid fat and said that he doesn't need a COVID shot.
A total douchebag.
You don't say nothing that
She's a total douchebag.
And
good for them for kicking her off the team. She shouldn't be able to represent a whole group of people like that. And they shouldn't have to deal with her fucking shitty ass douchebag comment following them around.
There you go.
She should be banned, period.
Mm-hmm. Fuck her. Her mouth needs a treadmill.
So a fan favorite, Dustin Diamond gets a NASCAR tribute in Indy rap star car driving racing suit. I thought that was awesome that they wrapped the car in tribute of Dustin.
Well, that was a good friend of his, obviously.
Yeah.
Scene and that's pretty cool, man.
This Dustin Diamond has his birthday on when he died.
I wonder what he had to pay or what he had to go through to get that logo. You know what I mean? To Saved by the Bell on the car and all that. Like, I wonder what he had to do to get that, to get that taken care of. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, wow, because it's a pretty big copyright right there, man. I would think. You know what I mean? Like, probably just get permission. I'm not sure.
It says "Saved by the King," not "Saved by the Bell," but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that was
cool.
pretty cool, man. He had the jumpsuit and everything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Right.
Very much so.
So we'll move on to boxing. Errol Spence Jr. suffers eye injury. Manny Pacquiao gets a new opponent for the fight. So now he's not fighting him because of an eye injury. I really was excited to see this fight, Alex.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed myself, man. Trust me. Just like every other boxing fan around the world, it seems like it's just. I was like, I knew it seemed too good to be true, but it'll happen. But I don't know when, and it really sucks because 2022 is when Manny Pacquiao was supposed to be running for in Philippines for governor, I believe, or something like that. He's running for I forgot what he's running for his country, and that's supposed to start next year. So this really sucks. I'm starting to think it might not ever happen, but I don't know. They're such real true blue fighters, man. I think that they'll figure something out, work it in, and I could see the fight happening in the Philippines next year. So, I mean, if that happens, I mean, oh my God, like that'll definitely be one for the ages. Maybe be able to compare it to the Rumble in the Jungle with George Foreman and Ali, but yeah, I was disappointed about it, but whatever. So. That means somebody else gets another shot. Ordinas Ugas, who's a good fighter. He actually fought Sean Porter 2019, I think, and that was like a controversy fight right there that Sean Porter won. So I don't know, man. It should be easy work for Pacquiao, but like I said, I'm disappointed. I can't watch him and Spence fight, but hopefully in the future. So we'll see what happens.
So we'll move on to the NFL. So the Lions had their preseason game yesterday. I saw they were winning, and then boom, they lost.
I watched them for like 5 minutes, bro. And then
0-1 for preseason.
I went to the summer league.
I mean, you really think same old Lions, or you think, hey, it's preseason, who cares?
I don't care about no preseason whatsoever. There's a big difference between watching, summer league like I switched to last night, and preseason basketball and all that. Then there was a lot of injuries though, so I mean it does have its, what I mean. It's cons, I should say, when players get injured. There was a lot of injuries. Like there was, I think I turned it on in the third quarter, and one of the Lions offensive linemen that we just signed. Got hurt, and then there was on the very next play, Buffalo Bill got hurt. So I was, I hate to see that type of shit. So,
right.
But yeah, like I said, man, I'm just high.
Right,
I'm high on the basketball right now, man.
9-7, 8-8, 8-8. I'm sticking to my story. So 9-7. I think they're going to make. So NBA Andre Drummond heroically saved his son from drowning after falling into the pool. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing, boy? So he saved his son. He fell in the pool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He ran quick as fuck in that video.
He just signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, I don't know, almost a week ago.
Yeah.
And I had watched the video on him, and, and then I seen that story the next day, and I was like, oh my God, because they were just asking him how he was going to, he had a little rivalry with the Embiid, that, the center.
Yeah.
He was with the Pistons and the Cavs. So how are they going to, coexist with each other and stuff like that? So, he was just showing, his class and everything, and talking about, he's there to win and do a job, blah, blah, blah. But then when I seen that next day, I was like, oh my God, like, thank God thank God that all is well, because that would have been very, very devastating, man. Obviously, so yeah, very scary.
Very scary. I'm glad he was able to save his son. So we'll move on to MLB. So MLB's Field of Dreams. If you built it, they will come, and then I'll play this video.
Wow. It was perfect. Every bit of it. This is perfect.
So that was awesome that the MLB was able to pull that off. I think it should happen every year, and different teams would play.
I think it should happen more times throughout the season, like 3 to 5 times throughout the season.
I love that movie, Field of Dreams, and for me to see that, I thought that was great. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Tigers playing the Yankees; it was the White Sox. I told Alex I wish it would have been the Tigers playing that first game, but
Did you watch the entire game?
No, I didn't get to watch it, but it was great that the MLB was able to put this thing together.
Did you see how it ended? I mean, you couldn't roll.
No, tell me. Go for it.
You
Tell
didn't
me.
see how it ended? It was a walk-off home run. It ended with a walk-off home run by the White Sox.
That's awesome.
Crazy. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was
I
awesome.
wanted to, I mean, I don't want to.
I got goosebumps when I first
want
watched
the Tigers
it.
to reach the top spot. So, but yeah, it was really cool, man. It was. If you're a baseball fan, it was pretty awesome. And
Right.
you heard, I watched it for a little bit. I didn't watch it too long, but I watched it for about 20 minutes, and I was listening to Kevin Costner tell some stories about the film and stuff like that. And a lot of people didn't. Everybody thinks it's just a baseball film, and it's a lot deeper than that. You know what I mean? It's about like a father and son type connection, and
Right.
I just enjoyed the stories that he was telling. So thought that was really cool, and obviously, of course, like I said, so I was never really a big fan of that movie. I watched it. I thought it was cool, but I like to laugh, man. I'm more of a major league type of guy. But it is a good film. It is. It's a classic film, obviously. And man, to do something like that, I mean, when did that come out? 89 it came out. So I mean, damn, 32 years. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I would like to see them do a few more games throughout the season, man. I think it's worth doing a few more games, just to get certain teams in there. Obviously, you're going to see more. You're going to see teams like the Red Sox, or if I had to pick who's going to be in the next game, I would think it'd be like somebody like the Cubs. The Cubs got to be in there. The Cubs, and probably, like I said, like the Red Sox, or I don't know. Maybe somebody from our division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Tigers, they were briefly in second place, but now they're back in third. So they are the record. I'm sorry, somebody was texting me. 57 and 61. So they were in second place for a hot minute. I think our cousin Michael G put second place, and I was like, oh fuck, why would you do that? Fucking jinxed it. You fucking jinxed her. Now they're
fucking jinxed
They
her.
don't tell you nothing rooting for second place. I don't know what will, but
yeah,
whatever. That's a stepping stone. But the big story is Miguel Cabrera hitting his 500th home run. So I wanted to ask you guys, what would you do if you caught the ball? Would you give it back? Would you ask for autographs? Would you ask for money? Like, what would you do with it if you was to catch that ball? Because that's a huge part of history right there.
I think I would keep. I know a lot of people would sell it, but I would keep it.
You would keep it? you wouldn't want to give it back. And
oh no, I would keep it. No, that's
so you wouldn't want to give it back to the guy.
No, I'm keeping it.
So you want to keep someone's, even though he would want, he wants that back. Like,
you think he wants it? I would
You
have
think
to.
he wants it?
So, of course, why? Of course, he would want that. So I mean, I'm just saying. So you would keep it if they said he wants to talk to you, and I mean, like, it's that big of a deal. Like, you will get confronted and asked, like, you want any, like, what would it take? You know what I mean? So, because obviously that means
season ticket.
I would think a guy like Miguel Cabrera means a lot
Free
more
hot
to him
dog.
than it would anybody else. So that's why.
So you're saying negotiate? Yeah, if they said, "Hey,
Right.
season tickets," then yeah, I'd probably.
So that's what I'm saying. Because some guys were saying, like, no, I would want like $100,000, or I would want this and that. And
No,
so, and then
they wouldn't get that. You think they'd get
like,
that?
Oh my God, like, why would you, like, that's extortion. Like, you're trying to use somebody's history. You know, like,
I just want some tickets and some hot dogs,
you know what I mean?
real
2
bad.
different ways. You know what I mean? If you love the game, I'm like, look, I got to get something. I mean, you're my favorite player. I got to get some.
Right, I'm gonna need an autograph, some tickets, some snacks. I get a jersey signed or something. Can I go home with something so that there's proof?
Right. But you know what I mean, Tori, like, as far as going overboard and somebody like,
Yeah.
I want $500,000, or I want, you know what I mean, and taking full advantage of the situation, and whether you're supposed to be a Tiger fan or not, like,
your ticket cost you $24,
you know what I
and now
mean?
you're over here trying to make $500.
You might be in a financial bind or something, you know what I mean? So I was like, man, I don't know.
Listen, if you were in a financial bind, then you should not have paid that money to get that ticket and kept your fucking broke ass at home.
There you go.
Because you know how much it costs to go to a game, just to go to a game. I mean, unless you're sneaking snacks in your pocket, in your your kid's backpack, like, it costs a little bit to go to the game. So if you're financially struggling, you shouldn't have spent that $100 to go to the game. You should have kept your fucking happy ass at home and had drinks and beers in front of get yourself a ballpark in your living room.
I think it was Albert Pujols a couple years ago where he passed for the RBIs, and the guy that caught the ball, like, made a big ass deal out of it and tried to make himself famous. And
my mom's over here trying to sell her Tiger turf from the winning game in the '84 World Series. Anybody want to buy it?
Oh my God, she could put that on.
I know. She got it.
Yeah. I mean, you could put. You know what I mean? People will sell anything nowadays, but
yeah.
I was just like, wow. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool, though. I just want to see him, get it done.
No, I think that trying to extort for that amount of money, that's just outrageous.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking.
I'm not going to say I wouldn't ask for something in return again.
Right. But you
like
wouldn't
I said,
go overboard.
Season tickets. No, I would want.
Type
no, if you want this, fair is fair. I caught the ball. I don't know if. At the moment, I would feel salty, like I would have to give it back. Like, damn, dude, I got this. Like, this is mine.
Right.
I caught it. But I guess knowing, being an athlete's mom, I would think, like, this bitch really kept the fucking ball.
Right.
That's his ball.
I would say
he
give me 24 hours to think about it.
I don't know about 24.
Give me one day. Let me go home and let me figure out what I want to do.
I would still ask. I would ask for tickets and a jersey or maybe another ball.
Right.
Maybe
But
like a little special something written out to me.
I would want tickets for the Priors. I was like, give me
and hot dog. Don't forget the hot
dog.
dog.
Lions, Tigers, Pistons, and Red Wings for next season. Let me pick a package for each one of those. I want some autographed pictures.
I want a package.
But I couldn't see myself keeping a ball of that caliber of that history. And even though I'm a diehard baseball fan, just to let it fucking sit there, that's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. I think it belongs somewhere else, either with the owner or with wherever they choose to do with that. But I'm getting something out of it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm getting. All right, that's
I'm getting a fucking package and a foam finger, motherfucker.
Right. I want a lifetime supply of tequila.
Yes.
That's all I got for the show. We got Wednesday coming up. We got Gabriel Cervantes. He's the owner of El Cazo. Is that how you say it? Is of a food truck. That's Alex's buddy. We're going to interview him. Tell me about the food truck business. How's it going? He's on Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. So check out Wednesday's show. Definitely check out my show on Monday. Does size matter?
2 pennies.
That is the
Call you DJ 2 pennies.
Yeah, 2 cents with Drake Swift on Monday, 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. Does size matter? There was a lot of weigh-ins, and I don't know if you read some of the comments, but there you go. I guess I'm storm. Everybody's like, "See what you started." So people are arguing.
Oh, shit,
This shit been going on for hundreds of years. What are you talking about?
Does size matter? So that's Monday. It is available on all platforms, I think, except Pandora. So it is available now on all platforms. And then you can check it out Mondays, 2 cents with Dream.
If you want to watch the sample videos on Twitch, you can. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. So that's all. You can follow me everywhere at Drake Swift. Oh, you know what? You know what? Let me back up. So I had a fan send me this video. Alex knows who she is. I didn't know it was appropriate to play. It's funny because, not funny, but funny. We were just talking about him when Mikey came on. We talked about Ponchies briefly. She made this video. She sent it to me. I don't know when she made it. I think she said a year ago. She wanted me to play it on the show. I figured I'd play on the show. So rest in peace, Ponchies. It's funny, like we were talking, we're talking about him, and then she makes this video. So I'm going to play this a little bit, and I'll let you tell me what you think.
Sunshine, blue skies, please go away. A girl had found another and gone away. With her went my future. My life is filled with gloom. So day after day, I stay locked up in my room. I know to you, it might sound strange, but I wish it would rain. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Cause so badly, I wanna go outside. But everyone knows.
So I didn't mean to leave everybody with a tear, but she made that video, and I didn't know. I was gonna actually talk to Jenna. That Jen is Celeste. The picture that you just seen, that's his daughter. That's the only daughter that he had. I talk to Jen every once in a while. She used to be best friends with my ex-wife, and I have businesses with her uncle Julius. So I didn't know it was appropriate to play, but she asked me to play it, so I played it. Just rest in peace, Ponchies. So it's kind of crazy that we talked about him on the show, and then
he's letting you know he's around.
Yeah.
That wasn't by coincidence. That was his way of sending a message to you to say, "Hey guys, I saw you. I heard you talking about me, and I heard what was said.
Right.
I love you."
You can
exactly what that was.
You can follow me everywhere at Drake Swift. Alex,
always right here with me every day.
Alex, where can we follow you?
You can follow me at Alex Sportsmouth on Twitter and Instagram. And appreciate all the love and support, continuous love and support. Look forward to keeping it going and hitting that 100 show and see what happens after that. But yeah, it's been a great ride. I love it. Thanks for everything, everybody.
Tori, when is Tea with Tori coming?
Tea Time with Tori is coming up roughly 2 weeks. I have some things going on this next week that I need to keep my focus on, and I have some topics that I'm gathering together. I'm taking some some polls, some census polls on what we're going to discuss and what tea we spilling first, right? What tea we got motherfuckers sipping. So it's coming though. Tea Time with Tori. Stay tuned. You can follow me, Tori Rochelle, on Facebook or at All Beauty All Beast on Instagram and The Savage Kitty, that's THEE Savage Kitty, on Twitter. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in and for all the love and support. I know we had a little hiccup today, but that's okay. We'll keep you tuned in and stay tuned. You know, if there's more coming, we're good shit.
Yeah. And once again, I don't want to, I just want to keep until she gets better and is home with her family and happiness. I still want to continue to send out love and strong prayers for Ashley Rose and
his wife,
good friend Robert Courtney and their family, entire family.
Yes, everybody, let's lift Ashley up in prayer. Good thoughts and
prayers,
healing vibes right now. Her family needs it more than anything, and she needs all the continuous strength and prayers and love and light we can all unify together and send to her.
Yeah, there's such beautiful people inside and out, and it sucks when you have people going through so much and there's really nothing you can do about it but send strong
especially
prayers,
people
and that's
like
what I
them
continue to do.
who build their entire life around helping others.
Exactly. So I know she'll come out of it.
They need our help now.
God bless them, and yes, really appreciate all the prayers for them and everything.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
So make sure you guys are washing your hands, wearing your mask, and washing your ass. Peace out. You guys take it easy.
God bless you guys. Have a good weekend.